Welcome back to Accessibility Officer's continuing series on accessibility in the workplace. We've gone over topics such as engaging with employees with disabilities, collecting demographic data, and strategies of implementing accessibility in the workplace. Now let's look to our public-facing assets and think about how we can extend accessibility to our customers and the marketplace. In this video, you're going to learn 6 actionable insights to enhance the accessibility of your website or online store. If you don't have the resources to hire a full accessibility partner or hire an internal team dedicated to accessibility, this video is loaded with digital accessibility best practices and tactics you can implement right now, even if you know nothing about digital accessibility. And while this is important, most businesses don't know maintaining digital accessibility compliance is the law in the United States. Yes, it is the law. You can get sued if your website is not compliant. Last year, there were over 4,600 digital accessibility lawsuits in the United States alone. Failure to comply with digital accessibility laws under the Americans with Disabilities Act in the United States or the European Accessibility Act could run you the risk of alienating one of your most loyal and tightly knit customer bases. And that's exactly why we created this video for you. If you learned something new from this video, we'd super appreciate you hitting the like and subscribe buttons. That will help us reach others and improve digital accessibility for people with disabilities everywhere. With that said, let's take the first step. Step 1. Accessibility is in the planning and development stage. It's never too early to start talking about and planning for digital accessibility. That's why we introduce accessibility during the stages of planning, design, and development. This includes choosing an accessible content management system, selecting accessible templates, and designing with accessibility in mind. Ultimately, considering accessibility during planning and before you even get to the design phase, you will save money and be better able to maintain accessibility compliance over time. At this point, you may not know where to start. Don't worry, keep watching, we've got you covered. Step 2. Conduct an accessibility audit. To move forward, you need to understand how accessible your website is. Does the site meet compliance or not? How far away is the site from digital accessibility compliance? And how do we get there? In short, to understand your level of digital accessibility compliance, you must perform an accessibility assessment or audit of your website. There are multiple ways to do this. You can provide training and tools to one of your team members and give them the responsibility. You can hire an accessibility partner, such as AccessAbility Officer, who can help you test compliance, show you how to fix the issues, and even take accessibility off your plate by fixing the accessibility violations for you. Before we move on to the next step, let's take a moment to share the ways to perform an accessibility assessment of your website. There are 2 types of accessibility testing: automated accessibility testing and manual accessibility testing. Automated accessibility testing is using a software program, like a Chrome extension, to find and test for accessibility violations. Manual accessibility testing is manually testing a website for accessibility using assistive technology that people with disabilities use, such as screen readers, magnifiers, facial recognition, eye gaze, and switch control technology. Please bear in mind that automated accessibility testing software tools cannot and do not find 100% of digital accessibility violations. There are a multitude of reasons, but specifically, automated software cannot test across multiple dynamic same-page interactions, and automation tools cannot understand contextual relevance of content and custom components within a page of content. Either way you approach improving accessibility, you should start with a digital accessibility assessment or audit so you can identify what potential violations you have and prioritize fixing each issue. Coming up, we're going to specifically address some of the most common digital accessibility problems encountered by members of the disabled community. Step 3. Address keyboard navigation. Step 3 focuses on making sure your e-commerce website can be easily navigated using only a keyboard. Keyboard navigation is a critical aspect of digital accessibility and essential for users who rely on assistive technologies. Screen reader users rely on consistent and logical navigation to navigate and understand online content. This can be done well using descriptive programmatic headings to break up content in a more digestive manner. Step 4. Optimize color contrast. Step 4 tackles the importance of color contrast. Ensuring a sufficient contrast between text and background colors is vital for users with visual impairments. The best practice is for all your text content to have a high contrast ratio with a background to make your content easier to read for everyone. For legal purposes and to avoid lawsuits, the Web Content Accessibility Guidelines version 2.1 AA require normal text to have a minimum contrast ratio of 4.5 to 1. Step 5. Improve image descriptions with alt text. Moving on to Step 5, image descriptions, also known as alt text. Descriptive alt text is crucial for users with visual impairments as it provides context about images on your website. There are two types of images you need to know about: decorative and informational. Informational images convey important and necessary information on your website. Decorative images are just that, decorative, and do not contribute to the use or functionality of the content. As a pro tip, do not use images with text. Many businesses use images with text to convey information. This creates accessibility barriers and violations you want to avoid. Informational images only need enough description within the alt text to convey what's being communicated visually in text format. This information should give the user the information needed to functionally interact and use the website as designed and intended. Step 6. Ensure video accessibility. The final step focuses on video accessibility. With the increasing prevalence of video content on e-commerce websites, it's essential to ensure that all users, including those with disabilities, can access and understand the content. Closed captioning enables those with hearing impairments a written depiction of key descriptive audio elements. Audio descriptions provide those with sight loss or blindness an oral depiction of key descriptive visual elements. How do you know if you need captions or audio descriptions? If words or sounds need to be heard to convey the message, then that video content needs closed captions. If information is being communicated visually, such as text on screen without audio or other visual information important to the use of your website or user experience, then that video content needs audio description. And there you have it, 6 easy steps to fix the most common e-commerce digital accessibility compliance bugs. By following these guidelines, you will create a more inclusive online shopping experience for all your customers, regardless of ability. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more content on improving digital accessibility. For help with your digital accessibility compliance needs, including testing against ADA and WCAG, let's talk. Shoot us an email to ada@accessabilityofficer.com or set up time to talk with us by clicking contact at accessabilityofficer.com. Thanks for watching. Until next time.